All right, we got battle report. Sisters of Battle versus Blood Angels. On the Sisters of Battle side, so we're fighting this open war card. So deployment, Sisters of Battle are in the center. Blood Angels are on the sides, doing the Glory Seeker mission, which means we're just killing things, getting extra points for characters, vehicles, and monsters. And then we're doing a meeting battle, which means half the units have to be in reserve. And they come in on round 2, outside of the opponent's deployment zone and 9 inches away from an opponent. And on the Sisters of Battle side, there's 2 Repressors, 3 Immolators, 1 Exorcist, 1 unit of Penitent Engines, 6 Crusaders, 6 Death Cult Assassins, 2 Mistresses of Repentia, 9 Repentia, a Priest, a Canoness, a Hospitaller, a Dialogus, and the Banner. And on Blood Angels, you've got, 3 Bell Predators, 1 Land Raider, a squad, Astrith and Power Fist Inferno Pistol Guard, the Hellblaster squad, the Flyer. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. So in reserve, you've got the Flyer, the Hellblaster. No, not the Hellblaster. The Flyer.
Ball Predator. The troops are in the.
Oh, the troops. What are the troops?
These are
the
Sanguinary Guard and Astrith. Am I right?
Now you're down by. You got 4 on the board and 2 out because they're in a transport. They don't count. So one of your squads has to be out.
Okay.
A Bell Predator decides it's not here.
Sorry about that.
All right.
Okay.
You got a +1 to win the roll-off. So whoever wins, 6, 5. Tie because you got a +1. Again, 6, 1. I got it. Do you want to seize?
Guys are on your way?
You can seize. You could seize. No. Okay. It is on to round 1. All right. Girls round 1. So St. Celestine, Active Faith. She flies 24 inches, lands right next to the Hellblaster squad. The Crusader tank rolls over here. The Repressor. The 2 Immolators drive over here towards this Land Raider. They flame it and took 2 wounds off it. And then this Immolator charged it after the Repressor did, and took some damage. But actually, on the charge, managed to do another wound to the Land Raider. But now it's locked in combat, and I don't think it can back up and shoot. Maybe it can because it's a Land Raider. I don't know. And then St. Celestine and her buddies, they, the 2 Gemini, land up, shoot the Hellblasters, and then charge them, losing a Gemini. St. Celestine takes 2 wounds, and then she kills 4 of them in close combat, which is pretty good. And that was girls round 1, so no points have been scored. I think. Units, yeah, so if he kills St. Celestine, the Gemini count as characters, but that's it. Okay, so round 1, Blood Angels. In the Blood Angels turn, the Bell Predator comes rolling forward. It does its full 12-inch move. It shoots and does another hull point with a Stormbolter to the Repressor. The Assault Cannon did nothing. It was sad. The Sanguinary Guard get out of this Land Raider. And yeah, there aren't many of them left. As you notice, there's only 2. So they got out. They Inferno pistoled all these vehicles. They didn't do anything. And then Astrith gets out. Land Raider's still locked in combat. Hellblasters shoot some pistols and don't accomplish anything. In the assault phase, they charged everything instead of charging one and like consolidating into the other. And so there were 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there were a lot. There were 4 heavy flamers basically hitting them, and so I killed some, like 2.5. And then in close combat, miraculously, one of them was crushed by a tank tread, and then Astrith somehow failed to wound an Immolator, and then St. Celestine leaves all but 2. Hellblasters, and what we know happens at the start of this turn is on an Active Faith, St. Celestine just murders the rest of them, and they go back, and then she will return her Gemini from the warp, and that was my Active Faith this turn, and actually I might get another one, but I can't use it, so Did I get it? Yes. Can I use it? No. Because there's no other unit that can use it on the board, so it's just there. So I will bring in my movement and then do the assault and all that. So I scored 1 point for killing the Hellblasters. It was a really unimpressive turn. So the Crusaders get out of the Repressor, as do the Death Cult Assassins. Crusaders try to take out the Sanguinary Guard. They charge into them, and I totally failed to do anything. Death Cult Assassins, I don't know, I should have charged Astrith. I was trying to just whittle down the Land Raider, but they charged it. They failed. I mean, they did a bunch of wounds, but it saves. Dialogus actually wounded someone, but they made their saves. Astrith fails to axe a tank. St. Celestine killed those Hellblasters and just flies and advances because she figured something's coming in over here. And then this Repressor, which is full of naked girls with chainsaws, Repentia is sitting here. It Stormbolted and actually did a damage. It was 1. Are you counting down?
Yeah, I got a 10 on there.
Shouldn't it be 11? Is it 10?
This shows it's got 11 again.
Oh, to start with? Okay, so it's down to
I
10.
thought it had 12, but I guess it's 11.
All right, and so it is round 2 for the Blood Angels. I've got 1 point. 1 point.
You don't need the pennants and engines.
But I don't need the pennant engines, but I have them. All right, so here's what happens. That flyer, the gunship, comes flying in. It murders St. Celestine. She gets back up. But I rolled a 1, so I had to actually use my command dice to ensure that she is still alive. And it injured a Gemini. That Bale Predator decides to fall back and doesn't do anything. Even with the Stormbolter. This Repressor took another several wounds, and then Astrith just chops right through. He finally does his job with his axe, doing multi-wound wounds against the tank, and just blows it up, literally, which kills a Sanguinary Guard, and wounds Astrith, and kills Death Cult Assassin, 2 Crusaders, and and did damage to the Repressor. So it was pretty impressive. So we're on to round 3. I've killed 1 whole unit. Mark has killed a vehicle, so he's doubling his points. And we'll be on to my turn. So, this game was brought to you, by the way, by this handmade dice roller that Mark made and gave to me. So the
and I think it's like 12-inch range.
Repressor rolls forward after all the girls and the priests get out. They shot at that Bale Predator, it's not there. Did not do anything to it, and then the Repressor charged it, and then the Repentia charged it, and the Repentia made their charge. And then the Dialogus charged the Land Raider and was killed by it, which was my plan, because then I got martyrdom, which allowed these Repentia to attack twice. Everything fell away from Astrith and the lone Sanguinary Guard, and then the Death Cult Assassins charged them and lost several against Astrith, and St. Celestine charged the Flyer, the gunship, whatever it's called, Storm Raven, and she shot it and then charged it in the air and chopped it to pieces, losing a Gemini. So I'm scoring points, and I got to roll for my Death Cult Assassins. 3, they're fine, they're not running, and so it is round 3. Sanguinary Guard? No, he's fine. So, here's what happens in the turn. The Land Raider rolls forward. The Bale Predator comes in this corner, outside of shooting range, but 12 point some inches away. Land Raider, left all but 1 wound left on this Repressor.
Right.
And failed its hunter killer missile shots. And I don't think it shot those guys.
No.
Now, so then the Land Raider charged in, and with the
It flamed them, but it didn't do any good.
yes, because we have invul saves.
Yeah.
So then it used its frag assault launchers and crushed the Death Cult Assassins, at which point the Sanguinary Guard consolidated into the Crusaders, who chopped them to pieces. I don't know. Interesting.
Maybe not the best thing, but yeah.
Yeah, the Land Raider's in pretty good shape. I'm actually going to have a hard time dealing with it. So it is on to my turn 4, so I got to bring in the rest of my army. And, do my movement and stuff. So Acts of Faith, do I get an Act of Faith? I roll a 6. St. Celestine creates an Act of Faith, so 2 of them. I think I'm going to win, but...
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Well, we don't know yet, because it's Blood Angel turn. So this is a bottom around 4, which means the game only has one more turn. I surrounded that Land Raider with all these units you don't see anymore, and shot it, and I took it down to like 4 wounds.
Finally did what they're supposed
Yeah,
to do.
as a gun platform, it finally did its job. So it had 4 wounds left, and I charged it with the Penitent Engines because they had the longest charge and it couldn't flame me, and I failed. And then I charged it with a squad of 3+ save Storm Shield wielding Crusaders, and it killed them with, like, the gun. And then I charged it with a Repressor, which it blew up, and the Repressor blowing up kills a bunch of things around it, and damages the Land Raider. And then I charged it with an Immolator, and it blows the Immolator up. And then I charged it with St. Celestine, and it murdered one of the girls. But it's got only 3 wounds left, but it's a Blood Angel turn, so it'll probably just fall back.
I would.
Because then I have to charge you again, or at least shoot you.
I can only move 3 inches.
But you can run.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then over on this side, I used my Act of Faith to move the Repentia right up against the Veil Predator. Charged it with the Repressor, failed the charge. Repentia charged. It didn't really do anything to him. It killed like a girl. And then they chopped it up and it blew up. And it killed 3 of them and did wounds on the Mistress who made her charge. So it was bad.
Yeah.
Guys, there's a phenomenal amount of death. So you've got a tank to bring in and a Land Raider.
Yep.
Yeah. And you've got to kill stuff.
It's going to be tough.
It might be, but I think I know what I would do. Yeah, because you got 2 turns left. Blood Angel turn. Land Raider falls back 7, and the Veil Predator comes in. So it is now the last turn of the game, so top around 5. So on my turn, I brought the Land Raider down to 1 wound with shooting. 1 wound, and I tried to charge it with this. I tried to kill it with a bolter, because that's the very Imperial thing to do, and failed. And then I tried to charge it with an Immolator after the Canoness and the Hospitaller got out, and it failed. And though St. Celestine charged it, and it killed the Gemini, and then she wrecked it, and it didn't blow up. So it's the last turn of the game. He has a Veil Predator, and Hope, I guess. Kill the Saint. Yeah. Kill the Saint. Sisters of Victory. Sisters of Battle Victory. With 1 Blood Angel vehicle left.